Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, as I've noted before, if our colleagues believe that tweets on policy differences or politics are disqualifying for a nominee, then I would note as a ranking member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee at the time, I saw a number of nominees put forward by the last administration who clearly didn't meet that standard. Let me give you some examples. President Trump's confirmed, the Senate confirmed, the ambassador to Slovenia shared an article entitled "The Clinton Body Count: 5 Mysterious Deaths in the Last 6 Weeks, Resurrecting the Vicious Lie Conspiracy Theory that President Clinton and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton had systemically murdered political opponents and associates." Let me talk about the Trump nominee confirmed, not one Republican vote against, the ambassador to Kenya, who tweeted on election night 2016, Hillary for prison. No, really. Let me talk about the Trump nominee who tweeted about members of this committee, some of which I won't repeat because they did not deserve it. But he called one member of the Senate on the Republican side that Satan had a hold on him and that he would go to hell. He talked about another Republican member's wife and had rather horrible things to say. And so I can tell you that the list is replete of those individuals that Republican senators voted in unanimity for. Now, these are some examples, and they are examples far beyond anything that these nominees have said before us. And I don't recall our colleagues sending letter after letter to the State Department or the administration criticizing the last administration's nominees. In fact, the former president himself habitually retweeted things. For example, he retweeted a video of a violent incident on New York City subway platform. The video shows a black man pushing a white woman into a train car and is captioned, "Black Lives Matter, Antifa, the problem?" ? It was over a year old and had nothing to do with either Black Lives Matter or Antifa. In fact, it showed the action of a mentally ill man with no known ties to either group. But that went on like wildfire. The former president had no problem doing that. So I don't recall any indignation during that whole period of time. These nominees before us today may not agree with all of their tweets, but they are experienced, competent, and dedicated, as evidenced by hundreds of individuals and organizations that have endorsed them. And I'll note for the committee that the former FHA Commissioner Brian Montgomery, who serves under both President Bush and Trump, issued a statement in support of Ms. Gordon's nomination, calling her immensely qualified. So despite some of the rhetoric we're hearing today, let there be no doubt that these nominees are up to do the jobs they've been nominated for. And with that, what little time I have left, I'll have to submit a series of questions for the record that I hope you'll answer substantively. Ms. Greene, in a 2020 paper, you wrote, quote, "Disparities in COVID-19's effects are driven by structural barriers and neighborhood-level conditions, including overcrowded and substandard housing, limited access to employment opportunities, and poor transportation options," close quote. So is it safe to say that there's a connection between affordable housing, good public transportation, and employment opportunities?
Thank you, Senator. I think there's ample research demonstrating that.
And should Congress and HUD need to take transportation access into account when designing affordable housing policy?
Thank you, Senator. I am a strong believer in interagency collaboration. The challenges that communities face on the ground are complex and interrelated. The more that we at the federal level can work across agencies to align housing, education, transportation policy to support communities in achieving their goals, I think the better. If I was fortunate enough to be confirmed, I would welcome the opportunity to support.
Well, upon your confirmation, I want you to look at the Livable Communities Act that I and a series of my colleagues have introduced that create a grant program to incentivize the coordinated development of affordable housing and transit. And one final question, Ms. Gordon, Under the last administration, HUD relocated key multifamily housing staff from its office in Newark to the New York regional office. This, combined with the fact that HUD has never had a Region 2 administrator from New Jersey going back at least 25 years, troubles me because it suggests HUD is not prioritizing New Jersey's housing needs. And as a former mayor, I can tell you that presents a significant challenge. If you are confirmed, will you ensure that the New York office has the staff it needs and that New Jersey remains a priority at HUD?
Thank you, Senator, for that question. Absolutely, if confirmed, I will make sure that every state has the personnel it needs, but especially New Jersey, because my husband's from New Jersey, and we are.
Well, then the
we're
case
big
is
New
closed.
Jersey.
Thank you very much. I'll introduce the rest of my questions for the record.
Thank you, Senator Menendez.